Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Well, I'm not going to retell it here, but I will say welcome to another series of Let's Paint. And I am your host, Trooper 6. What do we have today? Darth Plagueis, of course, because you saw the thumbnail. I know you're not dumb. I know you saw it. And we're jumping right in with some Black Legion, because why not? We're doing a Sith Lord. Can't just go with Black Templar. And I did grab that yesterday, but we're not going to do that. Now, why did I choose Darth Plagueis among all of the Sith to do my first Sith here? Why not? He's the one that I admire the most. I absolutely adore the Darth Plagueis novel. It was well articulated, I will say, for whoever the artist was. I can't think of him off the top of my head. You can help me out editing me. But what a book. What a story. Absolutely fell in love with him. And I figured I just couldn't help myself. Plus, the model looks really good. Speaking of the model, because I cannot think of it off the top of my head, once again, I was just too excited. It's 6 a.m., everybody. As soon as I was done doing my morning routine, I just ran straight up here and hit the record button because I'd set everything else up last night. So I will say thank you to this person for making an awesome model. It is much appreciated. The print lines were minimal. We'll see how they show up because I saw them about here on the cloak. And I don't think it'll be a big deal. I don't think it'll be a big deal at all. I spent some time looking at various pictures of him. Not too much was the most helpful, but that's okay because I know what I want. And let's face it, most, if not all, Sith wear the same damn colors. You know, the blackest of black and the reddest of crimson, or even maroon, for those of you that want to say that. They're not my flesh tearers, man. They're allowed to wear crimson. And we're basically going to do a mix here. We've got the blackest of black. We got the Black Legion going on for his cloak. It will be also for his cowl. And then we're going to do Flesh Terror Red for his cape in the back. Kind of give that some balance. Or some variety. Whatever you want to think. Yeah, we're going to be trying the same technique that we tried before with the Kryptonite from the Bizarro episodes. We're going to be trying that. Meaning I'm going to be coloring it in Mithril, that bright silver. And then we're going to go over it with, we're actually going to change it up. We're going to go with this Doomfire Magenta. And I know magenta is just a fancy purple, but it's more on the red hue instead of the blue hue. So if anything, you could think of it as a pink, I guess. And for those with color theory, and you're like, it is pink, you freak. Well, I am a freak. I love being a freak. Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. I mean, hell, they made a show called Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if I was ever a geek, but I was definitely a freak. Although no one ever called me a freak. Not that I can remember. No, they were busy calling me other things. You know, the ever so loved, uh, I guess, F word, since I don't really feel like having an episode banned. 'Cause I really don't know how things exactly work on this platform when it comes to censoring and all that. One, I don't really believe in censoring. Okay, I mean hell, but there's a reason I love the Corn song, and it was because that's what I was called all the damn time. And now now I understand that they were fishing for a boyfriend. And you know that's not my business. You guys do your thing. It's not my fault you were confused and alone and angry with yourselves. More power to you, though. I mean, hey, you didn't put a bullet in your brain from all the obvious depression that you had. So I guess that's something. And for the record, I obviously didn't do that either. Because here I am painting this lovely, lovely miniature. But I think we've had enough of dark topics. Since literally yesterday morning is when I painted the Night Lord for my Sanguine Heresy. You know, our Slaneshi Night Lord. And I don't even like calling him Slaneshi Night Lord because in my head, that denotes that he's just a Night Lord that worships Slanesh. And yes, I know that's what they do. But in the Sanguine Heresy, they're not really known as Slaneshi Night Lords. You would just have Night Lords. Just like you don't have Slaneshi or Emperor's Children. I mean, I do have a Slaneshi World Eater. Excuse me. Now that I was saying that, now I know I put the black away. Tis a reason, because I wanted to get out the ash gray real quick. Because Darth Plagueis has gray skin, and obviously he's already, primed in that Rust-Oleum flat gray. Thank you, Rust-Oleum. You guys make a wonderful product. But that's not where I can just leave it, We do like highlights, and we've been liking our dry brushes very much. It's been working for us. So, we're going to go over his face and give him some highlighted detail. All right. Perfect. Perfect. And you know what? Why not? I know. We're painting the cape. Painting it that flesh tear. But a little slap chop technique can't hurt but so much. So there we go. Because guess what? It's so little that it probably won't matter. It probably won't change anything on the model. And that is okay. But now that his face is highlighted, I will go back to this black. And I'll finish up that cape. Or, sorry, the cowl. The cowl! The cowl. We're going to finish up the cowl. Don't you yell at me. Don't you yell at me. I yell at myself enough. Whew. I wonder how many people yell at me but don't comment. They're just sitting there, maybe at their computer or on their phone. Hell, even the TV, and they're just like, "You friggin' moron!" I know. It'll be alright. And I was supposed to put on some Star Wars ambiance, and I totally did not. I just immediately threw on what I was last listening to, which was the Sim Coaster. That's what I was last on. It's a nice little tune. Nice little chugging away, plugging away. Keeps the creative juices flowing, keeps my mind going. But I hope everybody's been doing well. I'm not exactly sure what month this is airing anymore, as many of you should already know that these are pre-recorded. So we're now basically in the latter half of April. If I'm not mistaken, today is April 16th. Yeah. Yeah, because I had an update for the whole trigeminal thing, which I mentioned in the other series. It ain't that. As far as we could tell, it ain't trigeminal. We don't have it. Looks like it was just a tooth nerve that had died. And that's okay. Now, as you can see, we really took our time with this cape because I'm using a fatter brush right now just because that's just what I got out. What gauge is this? This is a 1 gauge. Okay. But yeah, we wanted to just make sure that we got everything that we really could. Of course, we missed a touch here. I don't know how, but we did. Boo, ba doop, boop, boo. Boo, ba doop, boop, boo, doo. Doo, 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 doo. Oh my god. And we're missing more slivers. This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. And you call yourself a professional? Why, yes, I do. And like a true professional, I missed something. A very simple color scheme that we were going to go with here. Obviously, we got the Black Legion. We're going to have this Flesh Tears, and then we're just going to do gunmetal for his armor pieces on his chest and shoulder. His lightsaber, I looked it up just a minute before I started this video, and his lightsaber hilt is nothing impressive. It is simply silver. Might be a touch of black in it, and that's about it. And honestly, it's been way too long since I've read the book to remember what his lightsaber was described as, because I know Sheev. I hate using that name, but I had to use it for you guys. So Palpatine, if I can remember correctly, I'll address that first. So Palpatine, if I remember correctly, yes, of course, he had a name. And I want to say he had more or less legally changed it and dropped his first name. He just went by Palpatine, his family name. And that's honestly, if I can remember that properly. Now, if he did have the name of Sheev and kept going by it and whatnot, alright, fine. I've just never been a huge fan of that name. But anyway, I know Palpatine's lightsaber was actually something quite remarkable to look at, and the material was even that much more impressive. Now, what was it? Well, go look up a lore video on that, because I don't remember everything off the top of my head. No, I don't have some notes, because it's not that important to me. I'm not a Star Wars lore guy. Actually, that's how I got into Warhammer. Is I was watching Star Wars lore, and a buddy of mine came up and was like, "What the hell are you watching?" I was like, "Star Wars lore." He's like, "Oh, you like lore?" "Yeah." "Well, turn that crap off, and why don't you turn this on?" And he wasn't sounding like a douche about it either. I will point that out. Perkins did not do that. But he was not really forceful, but he marched his ass over around the desk, looked up Warhammer 40k, looting, pulled up, the basics and said, have fun, and went about his day. I think he went on patrol because, we were working security at the time. And, when he came back, whew, I had this look on my face like, oh my God. So I suspect that this will only be a 2-episode series, which I'm sure many people won't mind, because that means we can just get right back to another series. What will that series be? Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. The only reason we jumped over here is because Plagueis showed up yesterday in the mail. So that's exactly why I'm doing this, because I wanted to paint him. I did get myself a new pincer. So those of you that really liked my Kaiju Gengar, fret not, for I have more. For those that were not excited for the Gengar, get over it, because I have Pincer, and I love Pincer. I love me to Pinsabug. So underrated. And I took him to the Elite Four when I was playing Let's Go Eevee. I really didn't want to play Let's Go Eevee, but that was why I got Let's Go Eevee, is because I wanted my old buddy. And I wanted the possibility of Scyther. And I honestly can't remember if Scyther came in both games. But that's okay. Can't remember, and it's not important. Boo, ba-doop, boop, boo-doop. Boo, ba-doop, boop, boo. Alright, there are parts of that cloak back there. This is where things really get to be challenging. There's part of the reason that I grabbed such a thick brush is that I can more or less squeeze this. I can squeeze the brushes back there, but the bristles are big enough to where I can get what I need to get and spread the paint where I need to spread it, so that way it takes up all the nooks and crannies. That way when he's on the turntable, you will not see the gray. At least I'm hoping that you won't see the gray. Good Lord. And then we're going with a very basic base. I'm going to use red copper because why not? I was going to do a glow effect. It was going to be, painted white and then hit with Tesseract glow, which will give it a nice green illuminescing effect. And I was just whatever. All right, but it's got his cloak and everything, and we're at 1811. All right, so we're going to kill it here. I will be back on the next episode next week, and hopefully we can knock out the rest of him. So until then, may the Void Father guide your brush. Peace.